Hi, it's Danielle. Welcome to my perfume journal. This is the February edition of my series called Perfume Collecting for Regular People, where I kind of pull back the curtain on how I continue to be a part of the dopamine social media perfume playground without going completely bankrupt. This is a very expensive hobby. I have been a perfume lover and a collector for over 40 years. And because I would not like to work until I'm 80, I keep my perfume hobby to a fairly strict budget. And of course, your mileage may vary on what you're willing or able to spend on perfume. I'm just sharing how I manage to balance what I'm comfortable spending with my absolute lifelong love of perfume. So this month, I added just 2 perfumes to my collection, a full bottle and a mini, and then I received the most wonderful, the most generous gift from a subscriber here. I cannot put into words how grateful I am, and I am constantly reminded what a lovely, lovely space the fragrance community can be. So we will get to that soon. First the perfumes, then the surprise, then the budget and the spending. So you might remember that last month when Jill sent me a surprise package of samples that included the latest Angel flanker, Angel Stellar. This was crafted by Louise Turner and Jacques Huclier. And I was really kind of curious about this guy because his name was sort of new to me. I looked him up and he has done what looks to be the entire Amen line for Mugler, starting with the original Amen in 1996. I read that he studied at ISIPCA, he graduated from there in 1987, and then he was mentored by Olivier Cresp and Pierre Bourdon. And now he's a senior perfumer for Givaudan. In his library that totals 95 perfumes listed on Perfume. And then the other perfumer, Louise Turner, she was already familiar to me. She's the nose behind several of the femme-leaning Angel flankers. She's very well known, probably most well known for creating Good Girl and a number of those flankers. She has a total of 132 perfumes in Parfumo. She was actually going to school to become a dentist. She took a break from that, got a job at Givaudan, and then the rest is history. And I share all of this because I have to say, since this year I decided to focus more of my perfume energy on exploration, discovery, enjoyment, rather than buying bottles, it has been really wonderful to go kind of like further down the rabbit hole on the perfumes that come into my collection since there are fewer of them. So Angel Stellar is delicious. It is bergamot, pistachio, bourbon vanilla, and the website says woods, but it is clearly that distinctive angel patchouli that you get in the base. I love the original Angel, the OG gourmand patchouli praline combination. And so in Angel Stellar, that almondy, pecany nuttiness that's in the original Angel comes through in pistachio form. It's that like salty sweetness that you get in the original, but in Angel Stellar, the nuttiness is a little bit creamier, it's a little bit more buttery, and it's still very decadent without being overwhelming. And I would say that the patchouli in this flanker is a little bit softer than in the original Angel. I have described it before as Angel's quieter, more studious sister, the one who like hangs out in the library rather than frequenting the clubs. I have always loved Angel Muse, the flanker with the chocolate hazelnut accord, but that perfume is discontinued. It's a little bit hard to find. I do have a travel of Angel Muse, and that seems to be quite enough to satisfy me. I'm not on the hunt for like a big discontinued bottle. When I smelled Angel Stellar, it gave me that same kind of feeling that I experienced when I first tried Angel Muse. It is something special. Angel Stellar definitely required that the full big ol' star ended up on my shelf among all of my other scented treasures. So I am very, very happy that I added Angel Stellar to my collection in the month of February. Thank you, Jill, for introducing yet another beautiful perfume to me. So Angel Stellar was all I was going to buy, but then I stumbled on this cutie patootie mini of Cacharel's Yes I Am Delicious. It is a perfume I had been a little curious about, but didn't think I'd need a whole entire bottle of it. And this was like $4. You can barely like get a dabber sample nowadays for $4. So who wouldn't want a little mini bottle of perfume that looks like a tube of freaking lipstick for that price? Okay, so this Yes I Am flanker came out in 2022, and it was crafted by Honorine Blanc and Alexis Grosjean. And the top notes are cocoa, green mandarin orange, and cardamom. In the mid, you have jasmine and orange blossom, and then in the base, you have chocolate and hazelnut. So right out the gate, I am a huge fan of Cacharel perfumes. I think they are superb, superb quality for a very affordable price. I cut my teeth on Anais Anais and Lulu in the 80s. I have a very soft spot for Noah, for Eden, and the original Yes I Am. And the only perfume from this brand that I've owned that I ended up decluttering was Amour Amour. Surprisingly, because it's a Dominique Ropillon creation and I typically absolutely love his work, this one was just a bit too candy sweet for me. It's a really nice perfume, but too sweet for me. So anyway, Yes I Am Delicious is totally delightful. You do get like this huge burst of perfumer's alcohol in the opening, so you have to give it a second to like settle down before you can really enjoy like the flormandiness of this perfume. I love, love, love a cocoa white floral, and that is basically what this is. It sort of gives me what I get from Embrace French Lavender and Tuberose from Vera Wang, but take out the lavender and replace it with just a hint of cardamom and orange, and then swap out the tuberose for jasmine and orange blossom. I don't get a ton of the hazelnut here at all, but that's okay because this is still a really, really nice floral gourmand that doesn't go too sweet or become nauseating. It's super yummy. And again, it's that beautiful, creamy, sweet floral that you get in many Flormand perfumes. And I might just add a little 30 ml of this to my collection one of these days because these are my favorite types of perfumes to wear at bedtime. So this is Cacharel's Yes I Am Delicious in this adorable little mini bottle for like $4.50. Are you ready to see the big surprise I received this month? Here it comes. Ta-da! I received this copy of American Legends by Michael Edwards from a subscriber here. And I was the very lucky recipient of this because she ended up with a second copy and she told me that it was very clearly a sign from the universe that it was meant for me, and who am I to argue with the universe? So I am now the very proud and grateful owner of this amazing book. I was yearning to add this beautiful book to my library because it is filled with the most gorgeous photos and eloquent writing about so many fragrances that shaped my love of the art of perfumery. It talks about Old Spice and Youth Dew, which are the scents of my maternal grandparents. It talks about Aramis and Halston, which are the perfumes that I associate with my parents in the 1970s. There is a whole section on Lauren from Ralph Lauren. That was the perfume of my teenage years. There's Polo in here, Oscar de la Renta, Giorgio, Obsession, Beautiful from Estee Lauder, Aromatics Elixir from Clinique. And that's just a few of the perfumes that are in this book. This book tells the stories of perfume creation, bottle design, marketing and sales, designers, industry giants, cultural and political context when the perfumes were released. It is absolutely fascinating, and I cannot believe that I own this book now. I do not even know how to find the words to express my gratitude to receive something like this. So I will just very humbly say thank you. I am so touched and so genuinely wowed by your generosity and kindness to share this with me. I feel so lucky to have this book to enjoy. Thank you so much. Okay, so back to the perfume end. I did declutter one bottle this month. I ended up moving along my bottle of Agent Provocateur, which is sort of a vintagey, spicy rose musk. And I decided in the end that this one should go because I much prefer Majesty from the Agent Provocateur line. That perfume is very similar to the original AP, but I find Majesty to be a little bit more velvety and smooth, where the original was coming off just a little sharp on me. So I decided it should go to someone who would love and enjoy it and wear it. Now, as I'm recording this video, February is not quite over, so if I do end up decluttering anything else, I'll add it into next month's video. So let's get down now to the dollars and cents of this month's perfume hobbying. So every month I share that my fun money budget is $100 to $150 per month. And I always make a point to say that I recognize what a significant privilege it is to have any fun money to spend at all. That is not the case for everyone. It was definitely not always the case for me. And I'm always very grateful to have a little bit of fun money to spend every month on a hobby at all. So I ended up keeping my budget capped here at $150 for 2026 because that is actually a really difficult number to stick to as a perfume enthusiast. But I feel like by keeping my budget on the lower end, it prevents me from justifying moving the guideposts of my budget up and up and up. Like if I end up in a month spending $200, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. But if I say my budget is $200 and I end up spending $250 or even $300, then that is stretching it. And when you are a perfume enthusiast, it's not hard to go over a budget of $150, $200 a month. So I do keep my budget on the lower end of what's comfortable for me, just to remind myself that I can enjoy this hobby to the fullest in a way that is financially responsible for me. So my bottle of Angel Stellar and my little mini of Yes I Am Delicious came to a total of $114.22 with tax, and there was free shipping on my order. Then I took in $31.63 in declutter money. So that leaves my total spending for February, using perfume math, at $82.59. So I was already under budget with my total spending, but once I did my perfume math, I am even more under budget and feeling very satisfied with the perfume purchases that I made. Buying one full bottle of perfume has really allowed me to enjoy it without just moving on to the next and the next and the next. And because I still have a whole box of amazing samples, I didn't buy any new samples this month. And I also really enjoyed testing and wearing a bunch of new to me scents. So I stayed within my budget and I enjoyed my perfume hobby to the total fullest this month. Great month. February was awesome. So there you have my summary for February. I always love making this series of videos, so I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending your time here with me. I continue to be very grateful for everyone who watches, likes, comments, subscribes, and mostly chats perfumes with me in the comments. I hope you have a really great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.